So I think first and foremost, second to last regular season home game here at Delta Center. What's the emotion that goes into playing in front of hometown fans for the second to last time of the season?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy hearing that, second to last, but yeah, just try to enjoy it and give them something good. Try to end the home season on winning notes and go out and just play hard. And we know that they're going to be in full force, so that's a great feeling. So.
What have you enjoyed most about playing at Delta Center?
It's just every night it's loud. Every night it's packed, loud. Just a lot of fun. A lot of fun to play. Obviously, I never played here before I got here, so the first game was eye-opening. How loud, and it's just such a fun place to play.
And then just going up against the Kraken tonight, what are the keys you guys are focusing on tonight in order to get success?
Yeah, they've been playing well lately, and they had a big win last night. So, just a team that plays fast, play hard, play to their identity. So, kind of worried about the things that we do well, breaking pucks out, and creating a lot of ozone time, and kind of making them play defense all night.
And then just to switch gears a little bit, but you personally and your experience here with Utah Hockey Club, what have you experienced, within this room, the people that have helped you kind of grow as a player, but as a person too? What's your take on your experience here?
Yeah, it's been great. Whole experience from top to bottom. Owner, GM, coaches, support staff. The guys are great in the room. It's just been a really positive experience.
As far as your pairings, you've played with a couple different guys. What have you taken away from some of those pairings in terms of on the ice in game situations?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we have such a good decor, and kind of throughout a game, you're going to end up playing with somebody who's not your deep partner, and it just kind of happens. And I think everybody's comfortable playing with each other, and everybody's just such a good player that it makes it easy.
And lastly, I think this kind of goes generality speaking for any NHL player that has to work with a skills development team or staff. What is the importance of that relationship between player and coach to help you get better throughout your career?
Yeah, it's great. Kind of having that resource to always be there for you. Especially, not playing. I work with him a lot, and he's got the iPad out, and you're always working on just kind of little niche skill that something that maybe he saw in a game or something that he's seen around the league. So yeah, it's just a great resource to have.
Any particular skill that you've worked on the most since you've been here?
We've been doing a lot of shooting stuff, changing angles, but I think picking pucks off the wall and making plays. Those are two kind of off the top of my head.
We'll go back at some game time decision today, so we'll see for the lineup. We'll see tonight. There was an optional this morning. We have a sickness, so in some injury, Johnny won't play. He's day-to-day with upper body, and that's about it. Veg and net.
Alexander Kerfoot is the King Clancy Memorial Trophy nominee for Utah. His work in the community, you see the players, the girls hockey players that he has here. What has his impact meant to this organization to be out there in the community and really working, growing girls hockey in particular?
That's amazing. I think it's a good reflect on our team and our philosophy and how community-oriented we want to be obsessed about. And that I think Kerfy's hell of a human being, and there's no surprise for us. But I think to highlight what he does in the community, I think that is great, because that's the kind of guy, that's the kind of player we want to have who embrace our values.
Saw Liam O'Brien out there this morning. Do you expect him to return before the end of the regular season?
Yeah, there's a chance. You said there's a chance. Yes, there is. So we'll see. Not now. I don't think he will be ready for any home game, but maybe for the last little push.
Last two home games, just what has it meant for you and the team to play at Delta Center this season?
I mean a lot. I think I answered that question a lot. I think we're super privileged to play in front of that kind of a crowd who have that much of energy, and they embrace our team, and they love our team, and as much as we love them. And I think that we're really fortunate. I think we're grateful for the support we had throughout the season, on and off the ice. So I think that's really a privilege for us.
Just last time you played Seattle, all the players, you were disappointed with the effort. Yeah. Just what do you want to see tonight based on the last time you played?
Yeah, we'll see the last two. I think there's a team who did not match well against. They like to possess the puck, and they're especially lately. I think they went from something like 30th offensively in the league, the top 5. So they generated way more off the rush and in zone. So we'll need to. It will be a good challenge. I think they have 2 elite offensive defensemen who likes to get really, really involved and get out of the structure. So they pull you out of your own structure. So that might have been a little struggle for us. So we review that, and I expect us to be ready to play against that.
Where have you seen players step up during this push, and how proud are you of the way that the team has, handled themselves during this
I'm
time?
really proud of the consistency. I think for the last month or more than that, it's every game. We know what to expect. We play hard both sides. There's always something you want to do better. There's no such thing as a perfect game. I know that, but the effort, the commitment, the focus is there every night. So now you navigate what you have to be better and what you have to pay attention. But we really got in that groove, that playoff mode where, hey, you perform every night and you play well, great. Midnight, you move on. Next game, you play bad. Too bad. Midnight, we move on. We're ready for the next game. And the player don't want to have anything to do with anything else than focusing on their game. So really proud of their mindset.
I often forget how young Logan Cooley is, that he's just so young. But have you liked his progression in his second year in the NHL?
Absolutely. And I like his mindset. You never know in the second year how it will go. I had the privilege to coach a really, really good player. One of the best players in the world right now is Nate McKinnon. Great first year. Second year was, he put a lot of expectation on himself and did not go as well as he wanted. So if it happened with guys like that, you never know. And the way Coos showed up, his focus is at the right place. Even if he's a really young guy and he will get a lot of maturity in the next couple of years, he focused on the right thing. He did not arrive here with his head looking at everywhere and trying to do everything. You really focus on the right thing and you perform on both sides of the puck. And in all kind of situation, first unit of power play, second unit, big role on the PK. Sometimes he played less on the PK. Played against the top line. Sometimes he didn't. He played in all kind of situation and never waive his performance, never waive his focus. He's really driven at performing every night and competing every night. I really like his mindset.
I know not new to you, but Kyle Bocek and his staff, in terms of skill development for these young players, how instrumental have they been, especially in this year, helping some of these guys progress?
Those are really unsung hero. Nobody talk about it. They're not in front of the camera. They're not on a game sheet at night, 2 goals, 2 assists. But you look at when Durs jumped in the lineup, was he ready? Well, that's credit to Kyle Chicker and his group, but as well Mark Packwood and Ryan Losowski, who really worked with those guys to get them ready. Same thing for John Marino. Same thing after Gunner when he came back in the lineup, and I think he has 2 or 3 winning goals in the span of 5 games or something like that. He was ready to play, but those guys are there for that. For 1, 2, to improve the skill level and making sure some guys have less ice time. You need to keep them level, and in the NHL, load management and practice time and with the travel and everything. So it's tough sometimes to, when you're a guy who play a little bit less, to stay at that level. But Checker and his group do a fantastic job to make sure the boys are always ready and always level, because the other reality we study in the past is your skill level, and you spend the summer in the NHL working on your skill. You arrive at the training camp and your execution is to the roof. And because of how hard is the schedule, your skill level during the season drop a little bit, because you don't have as much touch, as much shot, as much this than you have during the summer. During the summer, you go on the ice for an hour, you have the puck for 40 minutes on your stick, and you take 100 shots or 200 or 1,000 or whatever the number is. You arrive during the season, you go on the ice for 30 minutes, you touch the puck maybe, let's say 10 minutes, and you have 20 shots on that during your practice. It's not the same. So your skill drop a little bit. Having that opportunity to work with Checker and having a maximum of touch pre or post practice help to keep the skill level as high as possible during the season.
You're the only team in the NHL with 2 players under the age of 22 with more than 50 points. How significant is that looking ahead?
I think it's a combo of great scouting, great player, opportunity for those guys as well. You know, they earn the right to have the opportunity they have. I don't want to sound like we give them, and we don't give anything. They have to earn it, and they earn it. And you especially know how good they were all season long and how big they were for our team. So I think they're a really good player. Early pick help a little bit in those, but still I think our scouting group did a really good job to bring not just good player, character guy you want to build around, guys you want to have in your franchise for decades.
Hey, Coach, can I just ask, I'm sorry. With coming off the 4 Nations and in the Olympics next year, you're talking about Logan Cooley a little bit earlier. Could the progression and everybody wants to play in the big tournaments, and there's only so many people that can get to the top of the pyramid. Do you feel like that could be a carrot that is there for Gunther and Keller and Cooley to realize that this is the next wave of the of the future of the league, but then also using that as a motivator with their play on and off the ice?
Absolutely it is. And you play in those competition and you need to be a complete player to make those teams. Because at the end of the day, you take example for U.S. or Canada, you take 13 forwards. You have the privilege to take 13 best two-way player, because you look at the Austin Matthews or the Jack Eichel or those guys. They're good on both sides of the puck. They do their thing offensively, but they're good defensively. Or you can go with Jake Gensel and all those guys. So I think it's you need to be an elite player in both sides of the puck to be in those kind of a tournament. Because as much as we love offense, I love offense. You look those tournaments, it's 3-2 games. It's not 6-5. We think, you put all that talent together. Well, they're good offensively. They're pretty damn good defensively as well. So the guy you play against is the best in the world, not just offensively, but defensively as well. So it's tough to generate. If you look at the 4 Nations, more the tournament was going on, less breakdown the guys were tuned in and they were locking down defensively. So I think you look at Cools, why I'm saying that he's so good defensively. One day we'll apply for that job. Is it right away next year? Maybe. I hope so. I hope for him, and I hope for us, and I hope for everybody. If not, he put his name out there. He's on the list for sure, and he will be one day, in my opinion, on that team. And the same thing for Cal's, the improvement he had this year defensively and his inside game and going in the dirty area. I think now he proved that's his kind of a game, and Gunnar will get to that point as well. He can. I said it all year long, the guys who follow the team, how good he is defensively when he's on top of his game. And I think those guys have all the attribute to one day be on those teams.